right, I'm back. Yes. Super excited. Had an unbelievable weekend, mind-blowing weekend. And I have so much I want to talk about. We had this rewards ceremony. We had a lot of people gain great success and doing amazing things. But as a science-minded guy, I'm going to start with that. So do me a huge favor if you want. I'm going to talk about the three biggest things I learned in the keto space and how to optimize your health and your body and your wellness. And I want to share that all with you guys here in just a short little window. But do me a huge favor as you're coming on. Tell me where you're live and in from. Give me some little feedback. I am using my new. I'm coming back to StreamYard, which I haven't used in a long time. So I don't always know where everybody's coming in from. So if you don't mind, send me some comments. I'm going to try to see how the new system works here. I get to zoom into multiple platforms and then try to see how it all unfolds. I was supposed to do Instagram and Instagram didn't work. So I'll have to redo Instagram. So it's kind of interesting how that all works out. But either way, it's all good. So the three biggest things that I learned in this weekend really came from three different doctors, and I could even add the fourth doctor in there. But it was extraordinary. The first one, I'm going to talk about Mars or outer space. Dr. Kenneth Ford, what's happening? What's up, Mike? But what's really cool is it's very evident that when we go to outer space, it's hard on the human body, and ketones is one of the biggest conversations around that, and how ketones are going to protect us from the outer space experience. And so I thought that was really, really cool. It's just like, people are thinking about ketones as fat loss, and I don't know if that's safe or not. And they're like, for us to go to Mars, we're going to need ketones. Like that's huge. We don't know how that's going to look yet because that's a big trip, but it's just real. And it's a real conversation about how it can really make an impact in so many people's lives. So that was one of the biggest things I learned this weekend, because ketones protect the brain from basically withering away. The muscle helps preserve muscle. So when you're losing muscle or bone in space, ketones are really important for performance, which is obviously very, very important for space. Also, ketones have some impact on radiation, Dr. Kenneth Ford said. It was very technical, so I was a little above my brain. But you're obviously exposed when you're in outer space. You're exposed to a lot of radiation. So, and that radiation impacts your DNA, and ketones have an impact on that to help minimize that. I thought that was really, really cool, very insightful. That was number one. Number two, biggest thing, and if you're somebody that wants to lose body fat, you're going to listen into these next two because they're really, really important. So when if you're getting plateaued or you feel like you're kind of stuck, the science behind intermittent fasting and fasting is extraordinary. And even if you're not doing a ketogenic diet, just fasting in general is going to improve your health, improve your life. So I'm going to kind of break down a little bit of what that is. We're going to do more talks on that because we are actually releasing our new iFast anyway, which is pretty neat. I thought this was running. Is it running? It's not. 1 second. Didn't show. Oh, here it is. The new iFast. So this is going to be running right now, which is really cool, what we're going to be doing with this. But basically, you're going to try to delay your first meal till around noon, and then don't eat after 8 p.m. So you basically eat between 12 and 8. Now, what they found is that's kind of like the perfect window. Once or twice a week, it's okay to make that window smaller. Maybe you eat between 4 and 8. So you can almost go like a full 24-hour fast. And so what that does is that it has a lot of huge benefits for the human body. Helping metabolism, slowing down. You still have to eat your food, right? You still have to eat your food, but the idea is that there's a lot of science behind this. But it helps people break plateaus for fat burning, helps people live better, feel better, live longer. And we're going to hear a lot more about fasting over the future. We've been teaching fasting for almost 8 years. I've been teaching it for 20 years, but as a proof it, we've been teaching it for almost 8 years. We've been teaching fasted. It's just easy. When you drink ketones in the morning, it's easy to fast. And that was the coolest thing, is when the science is very clear that ketones don't break your fast. So you're able to stay in your fasted state, drink your ketones in the morning, fast till lunch, and then you can start introducing food at that point. When Dr. Andy said something that she says with her patients is that she doesn't actually move a lot of them to the ketogenic diet, even though she does a lot with ketones and ketosis. She goes, hey, listen, let's do a low carb lunch and then do maybe only 1 carb per meal for dinner. So you might have like some rice for dinner. You might have a piece of fruit for dinner. You might have a starch for dinner. So it's like one thing for dinner. So overall, you're low carb, but you're not necessarily full blown ketogenic, but yet she uses drinkable ketones in the morning and often in the afternoon to help people keep their levels up. So they get to sustain that and live that long term, and therefore they can maximize the results. And that's a strategy around fasting. And then lastly, and this was been really huge, Lastly, one of the big things that Dr. Jacob Wilson and Ryan Lowry talked about, and I thought this was huge. I want to take a few minutes and talk about it. That, and I've been wrong. I've been wrong for a long time on this. They said that basically, the thing that indicates you to gain weight isn't your metabolism. The thing that they've done a lot of research around people gaining weight in the holidays and what's the real reason behind this. And so I'm going to make a big effort in 2023 to really promote what they said and really make this, because I want to help people get better results, and I want to give them real science. And I've been saying this a long time, is that I think people punish themselves for not getting results, not realizing there's other factors involved that probably are not in their control. Doesn't mean they don't have a choice. It's just that you don't know if you don't know, right? And I didn't know this information until they presented it. So basically, they took people that had slow metabolism, meaning they burn less calories, than people that have faster metabolism, right? And what that means is that that person, the fast metabolism, can eat more than this person, and they don't gain weight, right? But they took what's their norm, what's their calorie, like let's say one has 1,500 calories a day and one has 2,000 a day, and they don't gain any weight. They stay same. So let's just say that they give each of them 500 more calories. Now, it didn't matter though if it was keto or if it was carbs. That didn't matter. The types of calories didn't matter. Now, do they matter? Yes, they do. But in the study they did, the results didn't change. The study still was clear. It didn't matter which type of caloric energy it gave them. The results were still the same. So basically, if somebody has 500 calories extra, they would gain weight. But this group gained less than this group. And what they found is that the thing that was different in the groups wasn't their metabolic system. When they looked at all the data, it wasn't the metabolic system. The people that gained less weight, they and I don't know what word they use, but they basically like fidgeted. It was activity is like, it was motion when not being active, meaning sitting in the chair. Like I sit here, like I'll get done and my Oura ring thinks I did a workout right after my live. I'm very active. I don't sit still, right? I'm sitting there bouncing my leg and I'm moving my body, and something's always moving me. I don't just sit there. But people that tend to gain weight more quickly, when they sit, they go just still. And that, if you add that up over a whole day and over a week, over a month, over a year, over a lifetime, that person is burning way less calories than the person that's moving more. And what we don't know is why, like what makes that person, why am I this way? Maybe it's an anxiety thing. Maybe that's why. It's like maybe anxiety isn't a good thing necessarily, but it's maybe a good thing for this. I don't know. That's the research. I don't know. But I thought it was really interesting. So why this matters is that if you're a person that's prone towards gaining weight really quickly, and in the other group, there's a good chance that when you sit still, you sit really still. Maybe you can meditate better than I can. I'm getting good at it though. So I thought that was really cool. But why they brought it up is like, now you have an awareness of it. Now that you're aware that you're a person that is more likely to gain weight, you exercise and activity is something that you're going to have to schedule and cycle into your life. It has to become what's happening, Amy? It has to become something that's more prevalent in your life. So Dr. Jacob Wilson talks about this all the time. He's like, he's been for 755 days, he did 10,000 steps. Now, I haven't done that. I had surgery a few times, quite a few times in that 755 days where I didn't walk 10,000 steps. But if I'm working in my office, and my office is 13 by 12 or 14 or something like that, I might do 10,000 steps just in here. So you see how active I am. Well, no wonder why it's harder for me to gain weight, right? I mean, it's just, unless it's so simple. It's not that I try to do it. It's just, that's what I do. I move a lot, right? I don't sit still. So I want to say this because if you're a person that gains weight fast, like we have to find a better way to get exercise into your life. What's up, Kim? How are you? We have to make it more important in more ways to get it in. And Kim lives in Fairmont, Minnesota, where I grew up. Or sorry, not Minnesota. Kim, if you're in West Virginia, it's kind of the similar. It gets cold and it's like, I don't want to go outside, and it's like, I want to sit by the fire. You see how it's like psychologically, I can see why you wouldn't want to move as much. But it's not necessarily about going to the gym. Should we go to the gym? Yes. Should we weight train? Yes. Should we do some light cardio activity? Yes. To move our body, get our joints healthy? Yes, we should do all that. What's up, Linda? How are you? But really what we need to be focusing on is scheduling in and think of exercise as a supplement to how we are. I'm just that way. Well, if you want to be this way, we got to change the way you're doing it. Otherwise, you're not going to change. Does that make sense? And so one of the things, and maybe this is something about smokers, why people, when they quit smoking, they gain more weight. It's maybe the same thing. I know nicotine has a metabolic thing. I'm not telling you to start smoking, but there's similarities into this concept, right? And I want to dig this into this more. But so one of my encouragement to you is that if you're really wondering about these ketones, listen, NASA's talking about outer space. Pretty freaking awesome. We already know they're awesome, right? We already know they're amazing. So use your ketones, drink your ketones. If you want to break plateaus and really get healthier, live longer, feel better, start fasting. We do have a new program. It's on a beta test right now. It's called iFast. We'll be relaunching that soon. You can actually order your kits. It's going to sell out any day. You can order your kits if you're already drinking ketones. You can actually go in and just order your iFast kit and come do it with us. We're going to do a big beta test. It's something in 2023 we really want to ramp up the fasting process and make it more sustainable for people. It won't be as extreme as the 60-hour reboot, which is extremely important. I love the reboot. And we'll still do the reboot, but we want to get more people fasting and feeling more comfortable fasting with a better experience. And that's why we've done iFast. That's why we're putting this program together. And then lastly, we got to find ways to get people to move more. And it can be something as simple as it's every hour you schedule for 2 minutes, you do jumping jacks, you do lunges, you do something that just pushes you to move intermittently throughout the day. It doesn't have to be exercise. Should you exercise? Yes. But it doesn't have to be to make up some of those differences. And if you just consistently do that, it'll change your life forever. Or you can just get super hyper like me, and then you don't have to worry as much. So that's my whole thing. But with that said and done, I'm going to be bringing back my new platform so that I can go live across the world and across the globe. So I may ask for some support from you all, like comment where you're at. Which Facebook page are you on, Linda? Which one of the pages are you on, Amy? Are you on my personal page, on the Keto Pro page? Because I'm going to be going, and then Instagram is going to be integrated here soon. So I'll be going on to Instagram through that also. So I wanted to have fun with it because I want to try to communicate with more people in the more effective way and really help people live better through 2022 and 2023, because there's so much noise out there. There's so much crap information out there. And I'm telling you right now, it's tough because I was at an event and people are coming to me with all these questions, and I answer the questions kind of a lot. But what happens is they start Googling and they go, well, this guy, you should hear this guy's video. This is what he thinks. And this is what he said. You guys remember, it's not the program. It's not the diet. It's not just the ketones. It's the person. And so what I teach there are things that are better than others, hands down. It's scientifically evident that a keto style diet works better for fat burning than any other diet in the world. That's already scientifically proven. And we don't have to debate that. But does it mean everybody should do that? No, that's the thing. So what happens is you get on here and you think that you should have to follow this regimen. But the reality is that might not be the regimen for you. But there's a way to take that information and find the dance for yourself, right? We always say the best diet is the only diet you follow. But the same with exercise. I'm not going to take somebody that likes to run a marathon and say that you have to weight train. Like the weight training is the secret. Yeah, science says weight train's better. But if I take endurance exercise away from them, I'm taking something important away from their life. If you enjoy your coffee in the morning, you're like, oh, I just love my coffee. It just makes me happy and makes me joyful. It just makes me super, I love my coffee. Why would the hell would I take that out of your life? You enjoy it. What's worse? Like, oh, I'm going to take away your coffee so that you can be stressed all the time, and then I make you eat a food that you don't want to eat so that you're miserable. Like, you're not going to stick to it. Right? Well, why can't we take that coffee and find a way to make you a way that you can enjoy your coffee and live your life at the same time, your results? Now, if you have an extreme condition that you have to eliminate things, I get it, right? I've been gluten-free for a long time, y'all. I get it. And the same point, there's all this crazy noise out there of people that they're so, like, if you don't follow this, like, there isn't one way for anybody. Everybody's going to have to find their own manner. We know that drinking ketones will elevate your performance. It elevates your mind and elevates your energy system. We know that works. Who does not want a better energy system and a better mind? Anybody. If you're losing weight, if you're an athlete, if you're old, if you're young, you want better energy and better mind, no matter who you are. And if you want to amplify fat loss, well, then you want this. If you want to amplify cognition, then you want this. If you want to live longer, then you want this. If you want better anti-aging, you want this. If you want to win a gold medal, then you want this. That doesn't matter. You want to focus in school better, you want this, right? It's just what it is. Like, you can't debate the science behind it. So my goal is to try to use this platform to get more people out there, to more people faster, to live better, but to meet them where they're at and not make them feel bad about doing something. Oh my goodness, I had a piece of cake and I'm a bad person for that. That's how most people think. they feel bad about it. And then they listen to some dude that's really ripped and buff on Instagram, and then they feel worse about themselves because that guy doesn't quite understand their life. He's never been fat. He's never been sick. Never, you know what I mean? Like, you're beautiful and amazing. Like, okay, I should listen to you. You're not the same person. I don't know what it's like to lose 100 pounds, but I've worked with tens of thousands of people, not maybe 1,000 plus people that lost over 100 pounds and maintained it. So I've got to learn indirectly through them with their information and insight to help you live better. So, time to go with the kids. Appreciate you all. Let me know what you think of this platform. I'm going to be playing around with it a little bit more extensively. And so if you like it, let me know. Please send me a message. And I should be getting Instagram set up on here soon. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm going to be working on it. Cheers.